Hey, we're back. It's Mick and Brad here. Second episode of the Sin Bin. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, mate.
Yeah, we got some points on the board.
Awesome. But quickly, have a look at this just in case you didn't see what happened on Saturday. So how good was that, mate?
Brilliant, mate.
18 zip. Titans over the Cowboys.
Well, that was the first time the Cowboys have been nilled at home since 2003.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'll tell you what, we had some outstanding players. Ben Ridge, he was smashing them in attack. Dom Payru, the ninja, he was just cutting them down. His defence, he hadn't gone nowhere.
Yeah, well, he's certainly worthy of that song the Space Boys made about him.
Yeah.
Jordan Rankin was brilliant.
Yeah. Stinky had a good game.
And Jamal Idris.
Big J. As Costa says, the big black Ferrari. He had a ripper. I got some stats here, actually. The possessions was 45% to the Cowboys and 57% to the Titans. So
that doesn't make sense, man. That's 102%.
No, but look at the line breaks. Cowboys 1 line break compared to the Titans 4.
I love line breaks.
Offloads, Cowboys 7, Titans 13.
Wow.
Kicks and play, Cowboys 9, Titans 24. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And you can tell that the Cowboys had to work. And team tackles for the Cowboys was 347 compared to Titans 267. So that was outstanding.
I read in the Courier Mail that it was statistically the worst case of ball handling by a team since they started taking statistics. That was 800 games ago.
I got a beef against the Courier Mail. Oh, you shouldn't have raised it. They absolutely give me the shits.
Well, it's hard, being in Brisbane.
Oh, but
they don't represent.
It wasn't how good the Titans won, or that we even did win. It was how woeful the Cowboys played.
True.
They didn't give us they didn't give us anything. So shame on you, Courier Mail. Yeah. Not that it means anything coming from me.
Well, it is disappointing. It's probably going to take a few more weeks till we get the respect we deserve.
Yeah. But anyway, we're not going to waffle anymore. Have a look at the highlights. They speak for themselves.
The Cowboys are accustomed to kicking off their premiership campaigns with Queensland derbies. However, this time their opponents weren't the Broncos, but the other member of the Sunshine State Triumvirate, a Gold Coast outfit that had been the NRL's biggest off-season spenders. And like Parramatta the previous night, they received an early return on their major investment.
A little too much on it, or has Idris found it? The first for the Titans for the year, his first in Titans colours perhaps.
Looks good from there. Oh, absolutely. Great try for the Titans. What a start.
The North Queenslanders looked flat and struggled to forge respectable chances. But even when they did, they couldn't make the most of them.
First into the air, a chance out wide for Panga. But a knock on is called.
The high humidity in Townsville resulted in an ugly error rate. And surprisingly, the hosts were the worst offenders. They lacked discipline in other areas too, with Gavin Cooper's late charge on Scott Prince giving the Gold Coast skipper the chance to make up for his earlier missed conversion.
Has struck this one better and the flags go up for the first time tonight.
As both sides went in search of a much-needed half-time breather, it was the Titans with the upper hand at 6-0. The bounce of the ball may have eluded the Gold Coast in 2011, but the Wooden Spooners didn't take long to enjoy a healthy change of fortune.
Last play for Rankin. Again, the Titans go cross-spear. The ball's gone back, but into the hands of the Titans, and that's their second try.
Titans winger Steve Michaels couldn't believe his luck when the Steedens stood up perfectly. The visitors had doubled their lead, and then stretched it past 2 converted tries after another late shot on a kicker in general play, this time by James Tamau on Jordan Rankin. The Cowboys' dynamic duo of Thurston and Bowen tried desperately to spark a late revival.
Over the top looking for Bowen. Back to Thurston on the feet. Cows come free.
However, the last say belonged to the new kid on the holiday strip.
Idris onto the ball. Big Jamal scores a double. The Titans win in an upset.
It was a stirring effort by John Cartwright's men, going from having the worst defence in the NRL to being the first side in 9 years to keep the Cows scoreless on home soil. David Rowlands, Big Pond Sport.
Oh, those highlights were awesome, mate. They're fantastic. Now, got a new segment, and it's called... So, mate, those highlights, if we keep getting that all year, I'm going to be a happy man. So, what we got now, Brad?
Oh, it's really good to smash our Queensland rival. What we've got a new segment called And Now for the News.
Now for the news.
That's actually what it's called, And Now for the News.
It is. And this week in the news, Will Zillman has signed with Titans for an extra 5 years.
Yeah, I'm very happy about that. I mean, he's a sort of player and, man you want around the club. He's a club man. He's a Queenslander, which appeals to me. Maybe not you so much.
No, well, you know, I've lived in this state long enough. I'm still going to wear my Blues jersey at State of Origin, but I do love the state. So
yeah, there's a few redeeming qualities about it, I'm sure. But he's the sort of person that might be club captain one day.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Well, I remember 3 years ago when we went through that alleged biting incident against Souths.
Yeah, that was a lot of shit.
And Michael Sell jumped in and said, he took it personal because the character of William Zillman. He said, this is the sort of man I'd be proud to have as a son. So that probably goes for being club captain as well one day.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I mean, what's Princey got? Maybe another 3 years in him.
Yeah.
So perfect heir to that would be. Will, I think.
Yeah.
But, so that's fantastic. We are absolutely stoked that Zilly's going to be signing for an extra 5 years. And another thing that was brought up in the paper, Jamal, with his he's basically said to, I don't know if he's officially said it or not. But
I think he has. He's quoted.
That his main goal this year is to get the Titans a premiership. He's not really worried about State of Origin and Kangaroos. He can do that anytime. I mean, he's got the talent. But, he said in the paper that, he wants to experience what it's like to be
Well, it's the ultimate experience. Not every player gets to experience that. And it's always the age-old question, what would you rather, win an Origin or, win a premiership? And premierships, your opportunity of getting them is a lot rarer.
Absolutely. Guys can play their whole career and not get a premiership. But they can represent their state 2 or 3 times. So
yeah, and Jamal knows that if he plays well at club level, the rest will sort itself out.
Yeah, but they're the 2 things we got in the news this week. Just on a funny note, the iSelect guy went down to Centre of Excellence and he's recorded a few ads. So we might just have a look at one.
That'd be great. I mean, I haven't seen him yet, but I've heard about him, so I'm looking forward to that.
We've got a few to show you tonight, so here's the first one. Hope you enjoy it.
At iSelect, we believe it's important to look after yourself. That's why we help Australians find the right health insurance at the right price. Come on!
Decide right at iSelect, premier partner of the Gold Coast
So
Titans.
how good was those ads?
Really good, really good. It really reminds you of those old Bronco ads of NRMA.
Yeah,
Maybe I shouldn't mention
no, Broncos. But that guy cracks me up. I'd love to hit the source with him. I reckon he'd be a funny bugger, eh?
I'm sure that could be arranged.
Yeah. iSelect shout. They can sponsor me having a few tubes, lemonades. But no, that was good fun. What I want to talk about now, mate, is we had some of the Legend gang go up to Townsville.
Yeah, we had a small army go up to Townsville.
Yes, and they did a brilliant job.
Brilliant. I mean, seeing some of the feedback that's coming back and the stories they bring back, just first class. Yeah, it's inspiring for us guys that didn't go, and that's what we want.
Oh, I really wished I was there after Rhonda gave us a bit of a debrief, and she is the logistics master. She coordinated the whole thing, and she's done a fantastic job. And but I was listening to. Sorry, mate. I was listening. Unfortunately, I don't have Foxtel. I've bitched about this on Facebook a bit, but I'm getting it. And I listened to the ABC Grandstand. It's not a bad show, except that they stuff up. They were calling Matt Schramer Luke Schramer, and
Luke Schramer.
yeah, Luke. We've got a Luke Schramer too, and we're having a couple other stuff ups. But on the whole, the audio was really good, and I take it that the drums were the Cowboys drums, but you could hear all the way through it the Legion going
I heard
times.
it.
That was
on
fantastic.
TV.
Yeah,
which is hard to do,
mate. That you guys should be proud of yourself. It was awesome. I think at a lot of stages, the Cowboys supposedly didn't really have anything to cheer about, but you know, all the way through you could hear that the Legion guys going and gals going hell for leather, and it was fantastic, you know. And we need a lot more. We need if you want to go to a away trip, hit us up on Facebook. The guys have got that well coordinated now that you're gonna have a ball. It's just great.
Yeah, I mean, round 7 against Manly in Sydney. The scheduling hasn't been announced yet, but that would be ideal. You know, if people wanting to get involved.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Brookvale, but
I've gone like 3 times, lost every time. The one time I didn't go, we won. So.
Yeah, well, that's maybe you shouldn't go if we keep losing, mate.
Yeah, so we have this big plan to actually have a new sort of match day hype crew with morph suits, and they're the sort of the suits that cover the whole body. I think they'll be blue with a few gold.
Yeah, I think the people that wear them look like a human jelly baby, don't they?
They do, yeah.
But they're cool. I mean, at the Legion, when we were at the Legion steering committee meeting, a couple of young guys were saying that they wanted to get in, and represent the Legion in these suits.
Yeah. And
it was funny, some of the things that they were talking about, like, can you drink through them? And they're going, yes. Can you pee from them? Well, you can, but we don't suggest it.
We don't know about that.
Yeah, so apparently they're quite breathable and all that kind of stuff. But they look spectacular.
Yeah, well, I've kind of put my hand up to be a sort of a reserve, but it'll be great because it'll be visual. It'll encourage people to walk around and interact with other fans. It will bring, not that our guys and girls need it too much, but to bring them out of their comfort zone and, release a few inhibitions. Yeah, well, I wasn't going to do it because I'd look like a busted jelly donut if I wore one of those things, and that's not a pretty sight. But, it's great. I mean, back in the day, we had the Smurfs. They've kind of like died off. You're welcome back any time, but...
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely sort of the missing element we need.
These morph suits, I can see a lot of promising... I think the one thing that we're chasing is a name for the group, aren't we? Yeah,
we're going to run a competition on Facebook, and we're going to probably put in a few suggestions to kick it off with.
Sorry, mate. I'll pop up a picture of the morph suits so it gives you guys an idea of what they look like, and maybe you can come up with something. But, as you're saying...
Yeah, there was a few suggestions at the Legion meeting we had a couple weeks back, and I think a couple of them were... This one, Gladiators. I like that one. Yeah. The Spartans.
I like Spartans.
Yeah.
This is Sparta.
Pretty much, that's the angle we want.
Yes.
So,
and was it Avatars?
Yeah, that was another one.
Yeah, Avatars.
Oh yeah, because they're blue.
Yeah.
I didn't get that the first time.
But yeah, I mean, whatever. I reckon that we do a competition, so it'll be run both on the Sin Bin and also Legion Talk, and we might run it for the next 3 weeks. So if you've got an idea...
So does that mean they'll be nameless this weekend?
Yeah.
And then the next weekend?
They'll be the Nameless Warriors.
Okay.
Yeah. But, come up... If you guys can come up with, whoever can come up with the best name for the group, I reckon we could organise a pretty decent prize for you.
Yeah, you'd be part of Legion folklore.
Yeah, let's give them a big carrot. We'll give you a signed football by the team, and if you aren't a Legion member as yet, we'll give you a Legion membership, and if you are, you won't have to pay for it for next year. How about that?
Brilliant.
All right, so come up with a name. Email us at legion@titans.com.au. And both myself, Brad, and Davey K, who does Legion Talk, will sit down and we'll decide who the best person is that came up with the best name. And you can be proud of first name in the group and also scoring some decent prizes.
Yeah, can't wait.
Cool. Anyway, what I wanted to say is we got that goofy dude back from iSelect, so have a look at another one of these ads.
Guess what? At iSelect, we've already helped hundreds of thousands of Australians find a better deal. And we can do the same for you. How good's that? What's up?
Decide right at iSelect, premier partner of the Gold Coast Titans.
G'day, mate. We got you back for another episode of Point Blank with Coaster.
Oh, excellent, mate. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Am I on?
You are. You're on. You're
Already?
mate. You're on high beam.
Oh, as usual. Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you, boy?
Yeah, good, mate. Listen, this is not our time to bullshit. This is your time to have a chat and tell us what you're thinking.
Mate, I got nothing but positives, mate. I was actually watched the game on the weekend, and if I'm going to blow up at anyone, I'd blow up at probably Paul Kent and Matty Johns, and that other goose Ray Adley, or whatever his name is, that actually thinks that we're going to win the spoon this year. I think that they haven't got a frigging clue.
And MG as well, apparently.
Yeah, mate, and you know, but then again, you know, it takes all kinds to make the world go round, doesn't it? So if they actually were all smart enough, they'd all be Titan supporters now, wouldn't they? So
Get on the bus early.
mate, I'm telling you, they haven't got it. It was the easiest win I've had at $2.60. The Titans was a dead set certainties on the weekend. I cashed in big time. So mate, and now look, the game wasn't really that flash, I don't suppose, but the Cowboys made a lot of errors, but I don't think the Titans were given any credit for forcing those errors either. I mean, it was a very humid night, and Titans played it exactly right. They made them make a lot of tackles. We had a lot of possession, and it was always going to happen that the Cowboys the wheels were going to fall off, and anyone that knows anything about sports should be able to see that. So
Yeah, and look, this is something I brought up with Brad just earlier on, and the thing that they don't realise, like in the paper and stuff like that, is we had to play in the same conditions as the Cowboys, and but it wasn't about the Titans winning. It was about how shit the Cowboys played.
yeah, no, that's right, and that takes no credit to the Titans. But look, mate, I'm happy to fly under the radar for a couple more weeks. It won't be long until they actually realise we're the real deal. The pleasing thing for me was the forwards, mate. The rotation in the forwards was sensational. You had all those big guys, and you lost nothing. One went off, one come on, and nothing was lost. So the attacking game of ours was a little bit, flat, which is to be expected in round one. You don't want to be firing on all cylinders right now, but
sorry, mate, I might be a little bit out of place, but I was getting a bit stressed in the first half because I thought Princey was kicking too early. We should have been playing the ball maybe to the fifth tackle.
Yeah, but look, there was obviously a set play in that too. It's realistically, we made some errors too. Don't get me wrong, but the beauty of it is, like, if we're building a building, the concrete is already in place. We've got some excellent foundations to work on this year, and mate, I'm looking forward to it. I reckon, you put KG back out on the outside of Big Jamal, and no offence to Stevie Michaels, who did a great job, but mate, another player that I thought did fantastic was Dom. How good did he play?
I'll tell you what, our defence with Dom was outstanding. He was just chopping trees, mate. He was chopping trees. He was nailing them.
Oh, he was. He was smashing them, and like that's that's what I mean. When you say about talking about forcing mistakes, a lot of it comes down to frustration and fatigue. That's why mistakes happen. And Cowboys made a lot of them because they were getting frustrated, because they were getting chopped down and fatigued because they were constantly making defensive, plays that were coughing up the ball. So
yeah, and it didn't matter how well the super duo Thurston and Bowen tried to get their team to lift. They just were still stuck in the mud.
Mate, every time Thurston touched the ball, he got nailed.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yep.
So people were up in his face. They cut his time down. They moved up on his inside and his outside. The outside men were hitting his runners before, he had nowhere to go, mate. They played as well as they were allowed to as well. They made a lot of crucial errors, don't get me wrong, but you'd be a fool to think that they didn't. But, mate, a lot of credit's got to go to the Titans for causing those errors. They were playing, as you say, in the same humid conditions, and they didn't make the same errors. So, hence the reason why we walked out with a win. Anyway, forget about them. We got the slot machine this Saturday.
A slot machine?
Yeah, the green machine.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Oh, sorry, mate. I've had a couple of lemonades. That didn't click then.
We got Campese. I wonder if Campese gets to fly in first class with him, or whether it has to come up through luggage, or he doesn't even look like he's wearing them anymore.
No. Well, look, we won 18-0 against the Cowboys. What's your forecast against the Raiders?
Oh, mate, I'm pretty conservative. 40-0, I reckon. So, you know me, I hate to put myself out on a limb. No, I seriously reckon we're going to carve them up. I know that they played really well against Melbourne, but they were at home too, and they don't travel that great. And I'm predicting 26-10, and you heard it here first.
26-10 from Coaster. Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, I'll jump on board with those odds. I reckon.
Yeah, do it up, mate. 13 plus, Titans, certainly. And man of the match this week, Mark Minicello.
You reckon Mini's going to carve them up this weekend?
Mate, I've got a feeling he's looking more and more. He played slow last week, which for Mini was fantastic. It really was. And, mate, he will be more devastating than Anthony Watmoe by this halfway through this year.
Yeah. If he keeps eating that avocado, mate, he's going to be a weapon.
That's right. Well, we got enough bloody spoons to cook with anyway. That's for sure.
Mate, you can have mine because we're not going to get it. We're not going to get it back this year. We're going to be finalists for sure.
Mate, it doesn't even come. Honestly, the thought of coming wooden spoon, I was shocked. I heard somebody actually think that we would. It shocked me because the thought had never even crossed my mind, and I let him have it too, mate. Don't you worry about that. Paul Kent got a nasty couple of tweets from a drunken coaster later that night. So
I don't even know how he's in media. He's a goose. He's just a goose. But anyway, That's my opinion. Paul Kent, you goose.
Yeah, mate, as I say, mate, leeches are rugby league. I mean, they're just like us. They've got an opinion, but the difference between us and Paul Kent is we don't go and hand out our hand at the end of the week and ask for a paycheck for it. So, Paul Kent, if you're listening, she's on the back page at the moment, just making absolute dribble. Just called Scott Prince a diver on live TV. So, let's see you get out there, Paul Kent, and, see if you can stand even 10 minutes out there against the big boys.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the collision with Princey, and I thought at the start, yeah, maybe, but then I thought, screw that, I wouldn't like to be where he was, yeah.
To be honest, mate, I'm not going to comment whether I think it was or not.
No.
The fact of the matter is that our captain's out there to win the game, and he's going to win it at all costs. And mate, look, he got a razoo for it from the crowd, and look, was it a bit of gamesmanship? Maybe it was, I don't know, but mate, either way, Scott Prince won that game, 18-0. Let's move on.
Exactly right. That's absolutely right, mate. Listen, we're about.
That's what he gets paid for.
That's right. We're just about to wind up your segment. Is there anything else, buddy?
No, except I can't wait to see everybody back at the coast, and really looking forward. Awesome effort to Rhonda and all the gang that got up there for the Townsville game. I I read intently that post. It was excellent, really good stuff. I'm just so jealous I wasn't with you guys, but I promise you it won't be long until I am.
When's the first home game that you're going to be up, mate?
Mate, I am trying as we speak to try to get a flight under $400 to get back this week, and if it is, it'll be this weekend.
Mate, I'll have a cold one waiting for you.
Yeah, it's very hard though. It's a public holiday down here on Monday and I've left it a bit late. So, they're trying to sting me $509 at the moment for a one-way ticket. So, not good.
Just drive, mate. I mean, it's a Saturday game.
Yeah, just borrow, what's his name's BMW? Drive it like it's Stalin.
Yeah, well, who?
Bernard Tomic. Just use his car.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, well, that's right.
I shouldn't keep paying out on the bloke. I mean, he's a good kid. It's just easy. That's all.
Supporter.
Yeah, that's it. I don't mean anything by it. It's just a bit of a laugh.
He bashed the shit out of you, Mick, if you've seen him. You know that, don't you? He stands about 7 foot tall. He's about 20.
Whatever. He'd be screwed if I fell over and landed on him.
You teach him a lesson.
All right, buddy.
All right, mate. You take care, guys, and can't wait to listen to the podcast.
Fantastic, mate. Thanks for your time, mate.
All right, man. See ya.
Cheers. Okay, we've got one more iSelect ad to give a little bit of a plug to. I hope you've enjoyed them. We've had a ball watching them, and as they keep coming out, we'll just keep posting them on the show. But here's the last one for tonight.
At iSelect, we've helped lots of Australians find a better deal on their car insurance. So call us if you're looking for a new policy, or if you want to switch.
Decide right at iSelect, premier partner of the Gold Coast Titans.
Well, okay, I guess we're at the end of the show, mate, and I guess the last thing we want to talk about is this Saturday's game against the Raiders.
Yeah, our first home game against the Raiders. I mean, if you look back, there's been many really interesting encounters between us. You know, there's always a bit of fire involved, and also, more or less, usually the home team wins. We bucked that trend last year of one of our wins down in Canberra, but we're looking to keep that going at home. I think we've won 6.
Yeah, it's time to bring the fortress back.
Oh yeah,
You know?
definitely.
We're not going to talk about 2011 because every team has to have a 2011, but ours is done now. So this is Premiership year. I've got just not trying to be rude. I won't be. Not that I'm looking at the camera or not, but this is the team list for this Saturday. So we've got Will Zillman, Steve Michaels, Jamal Idris, Dominic Peru, David Mead, Jordan Rankin, Scotty Prince as the captain, Luke Bailey, Kane Lawton, we've got Nate Miles, Greg Bird, Mark Minicello and Ashley Harrison, with our interchange of Luke Douglas, Matt White, Ben Ridge, Matty Schramer, Luke O'Dwyer, and of course the coach Johnny Cartwright. So looking at the team roster, I think that's almost unchanged from last weekend.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and just reward. That's what we wanted.
Yeah. So listen, what's general entry tickets worth?
I think they're $30 for us, $25 for concession, and there is junior prices as well.
How can you go wrong? Back a winning team, be at Robina, Skilled Park on Saturday, and watch the mighty Titans crush the Raiders. It's going to be a screamer.
Yeah. Let's get that fortress, off to a winning start. There's nothing better than having like an amazing home record and like having so much pride in it, and just the rival fans and players coming and actually being scared.
Yeah.
It definitely is a factor, and the crowd is a factor too. So get out there, be loud, show your colours, bring your flags, put your face paint on, go the extra mile.
What's your forecast?
Oh, I think it'll be like 32 to 10.
32-10?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 28-6.
Yeah. So we're all tipping a pretty
Titans, that is.
A pretty reasonable thumping.
Yeah. So obviously we'll reflect on our next sin bin and tell you how well we were at our predictions. But we're going to go out with this year's NRL ad. It's a ripper, and it also shows David Magic Mead doing that freakishly. Just that try. I can watch it a million times. It's freaking awesome. But anyway, enough of us dribbling on. Here's the ad, and we'll see you next sin bin. Bye.